Malaysia is a cheap place.
Inexpensive. It's
So
not
Malaysia
cheap.
is a cheap place,
You
and
got a good
I'm sure that
haircut.
you get a
Quality haircut.
yes.
Yeah, it's not a cheap haircut. You have to go with the quality cost aspect of it.
That's
Because
right.
a quality haircut, I'm actually
Just looks
due for a
expensive.
beard and a haircut myself, and I can tell you it will not be $4. It'll be probably closer to around 25 and everything by the time I'm finished and done. So definitely, yeah, I can agree with that. And
Now,
Yeah, Dr. Saggu.
I want to ask you, Mark, do you get the full thing done, or do you abide by the law? No wash, just cut and trim, or do you get the whole thing done?
I get the beard trim, the haircut, and everything else. Not so much the wash, but yes, it is the full beard, mustache, and the hair. So yes, I get that works, and it comes up to about, like I said, about $25 or something like that. So it is definitely not a cheap cut. It's definitely not in that $4 range. Now I do have to say something, and he knows that I'm going to say this, so I'm not speaking out of school, as the old expression goes and everything. But during the time that we were in heavy lockdown with COVID and everything, I did arrange something special with my barber and everything. So we did kind of like have a little secret rendezvous. So I did a bit of that going on because I couldn't have too much of the Santa Claus going on. I mean, I've got it now, but I had to do something about that. So we had a secret rendezvous. I'll just leave it at that. And he took care of me real quickly.
Yeah,
And when they say women are
no, right, and that's unfair. They say that about women, but Mark, look, the barbershop, that's where all the talk is, and that's why it takes time. And so now, listen, if your person had ever done to you what was done to Nancy Pelosi, how would you feel?
Oh, I would have had a total fit about that if that had happened to me. I definitely would have had a total fit, and I probably would have walked away from that particular barber and never come back to him. It's actually a Muslim brother that I go to that gives me a haircut. But I've had, ever since I started going regularly here in Durham, there's probably about 2 barbers that I've attended regularly. So I'm definitely like you, Bill. Once I get somebody that does a good job, I stick with them, and we have that kind of relationship. So I agree with you. I would have been upset at them and everything for sure. One of the other things, when y'all were talking about what's going on with the COVID and the businesses, one of the things that crossed my mind was, here in North Carolina, we're having the restaurants that are slowly opening up, but the bars are closed. So while Ankit, I know we're talking about the liquor was going and flowing real nicely in India, I think it's flowing from our convenience stores, not necessarily from the bars, because the bars are closed. And the bar owners are upset because they're like, we're only one step away from a restaurant. So I think some of them, and Kimberly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but some of them are actually trying to figure out ways that they can add food into their situation so that they can technically be classified away from a bar to a restaurant, because they're literally seeing some of their colleagues that are literally like maybe 1 or 2 doors down that are being able to open up, and they're not able to open up. So I think that's something that's happening nationally and internationally.
Well, it's very difficult to get that food permit. So the alcohol permit costs a lot. So here's the flip that side. Alcohol permit costs a lot of money. A lot of people don't understand. I think it's over $100,000 a year. And the food permit is very difficult to get, right? To get that grade certification, you have to have somebody come in and check you on a routine basis before you open up. So, and then you have to prepare your menus. There's a lot of work. Add sandwiches. So a little shop down the road from us wanted to add a menu, but it was too expensive to do it. So they got smart and they added a convenience store until they got it. They added like a convenience store type menu where you could go in and buy pre-made foods that were wrapped up tightly like a store. It's a little coffee shop. Now they serve full menu. But they got
that's enough about North Carolina.
Yeah,
I think
Dr. Saggu on the panels right now, and Dr. Saggu, I would like to know what's happening at Sukhdev Dhaba, because there's a lot of news going around as a food spreader.
Dr. Saggu.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I know. Even after getting a lot of patients, the people, they are ignorant. They are ignoring this COVID-19, and that has not to be like that. if you can respect the COVID-19 only, then COVID-19 is going to respect you. So there is on highway two of the, you can say Dhaba, one is Sukhdev and another is Dharam and Garam. So around 65 patients from Sukhdev and 85 patients from that Dharam and Garam Dhaba, they are positive, and I know hundreds of the people they went through that Dhaba, and how many they already have infected we don't know. So these types of things should not be there. We should not be ignoring this. We should be following all the guidelines. All the preventive measures has to be taken place if we want a fight with the COVID-19. If we want to reserve our healthcare, to reserve our economy because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sir, do you think that could be a food spreader? Because that's in the news that because of 65 waiters or people who are working in that particular food organization, and then 10 more people have also suffered from different food outlets, and then almost 10,000 people have been visited that restaurant in the past week or so. So do you think that caused a big problem and that could be a
That
big spreader?
Yeah, that is why I'm saying that can be a big challenge for us. A lot of people can be infected because of the virus. So I cannot say 10,000. It might be more than that, because
Yeah.
this dhaba was very. I mean, it's a very busy dhaba. It's a busy place over the highway, and the another one also, because 85 the workers, they are tested positive. So I'm I'm estimating it may be more than 30 or 40,000 people they have contacted these laborers or these workers, and they may have symptoms or they may have a COVID-19 positive. And in the state of Punjab, this COVID-19 is taking. I mean, it's a very serious complication is going to be there in Punjab, because the sickness is a very serious over there. Even the younger people, they are having a very severe complication. They are having the lung disease also. I mean, uh, all the patients, they have a pleural effusions, they have pneumonitis, lower lung already gone. So I have seen around five patients from Punjab. So we brought them, we shifted to Delhi from Punjab, and they were in very bad position, and now they are recovering well here in Delhi. But in Punjab, the rest of their friends, who was around 25-year young boy was there, who did not get shifted to Delhi, but he was there in a big hospital in Ludhiana, and he's come because of COVID-19. A 25-year-old young boy has come because of COVID-19. So
And sir,
whom we are going to blame? The blame is only ours, because we are ignoring. Yeah, yeah.
And sir, what is the cause of spike in India? Because we know we are recorded highest number of cases now since past week or so, and yesterday we crossed around 83,000 cases per day.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, where are we heading towards now?
We are heading towards a peak. The peak has not yet come in India. You can say we have crossed the peak in Delhi, but in India the peak is still yet to come, and maybe in some other places, in some places this is going mild, and some other places this will erupt as a big disease now. So if we talk about the numbers will definitely go up. Even these numbers, 83,000 people, if we got the positive in one day, it is not a
Yeah,
big thing. I
yeah,
am sure it may be more than 2 lakhs. It may be more than 200,000, because
yeah,
this is the not the real of the patient's number. This is
true.
the number of the test which has
Definitely.
come positive. So this
Yeah,
is the test positive number only. These are not the patient's number. Patient's number would be more than that, maybe two times, three times, or five times, because a lot of the people, they are not getting the test done, because I mean, they're thinking that if they will be positive and they will be quarantined, they will lose their job. They will lose their, I mean, name also in the society, because the COVID-19 has come as a big stigma now. It's a social stigma. So people don't want to reveal their disease.
Oh,
So if you are not going to reveal your disease, how you can expect that you will be treated?
doctor, I have a quick question. Here we've had reports that children that are that children carry the disease longer than we thought and spread it and have the ability to spread it far longer than was previously thought. Um, is that true over in India? And do you guys have the same concerns with regard to the family structures and children's catching it and then becoming super spreaders.
No, I don't think that the children they are going to spread more, because I mean you can say like that because a lot of the respiratory infections are there in the children, and the children then they can throw out higher wire load, and if they are throwing higher wire load, then there's more chances of infection. But in India we have not seen like this. I mean, even the children they are spare. Children they are following the things, but the younger ones, the older ones, they are not now following the things. In some states they are not following the measures, they are not following the guidelines. If you will not follow the guidelines, then it would be, I mean, a big thing for us.
So
Dr.
why is it that in India and the United States they don't follow the guidelines, and why do you follow that in Malaysia, Sharif? Why are you guys following guidelines? What's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, because if, yeah,
No, actually,
if, I mean, Nick, if if I'm taking a class and I have 15 or 20 students, I can take care of. I can be vigilant over the students. But if I am taking a class of 100 students, how can I be vigilant over all? I mean, the backbenchers, they definitely they will not follow the things. So that is why India has a high population, and in extremes in the rural area, they are
Yeah,
not following the things,
but
and
that's
it
the
is very.
same. That's the same thing over here. But when I talk to Sharif in Malaysia, they have 32 million people and they have
Yeah.
128 deaths. Why is it that in Malaysia they follow the rules, in the United States and America they ignore them?
yeah, yes. I just want to add the recent some government law. I think this is also alarming for country like India, even Bangladesh, and every country. Even a few shows ago, I think last week I said that Malaysia researcher they find muted COVID-19, and which is 10 times stronger than that. And one of the Indian peoples, they got it from the Indian people. So last few days, actually, Malaysia stopped all of the entry with India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, USA, Saudi Arabia, and different kind of countries. Those who are have lot of COVID-19 patients. This is number one things. So I think this is definitely alarming for country like India, country like Bangladesh, country like Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, even USA not doing very well. So this is alarming. And for the Malaysian researcher, I told you when I give the link to this show, I said that from India, Malaysian researcher find a muted COVID-19, which is 10 times stronger. So I think Dr. Saggu, he's more experienced, he has better understanding on that. Second thing, example, I want to compare in between Malaysia and Bangladesh. Let's say Malaysia has 5 times bigger land than Bangladesh. Okay, country wise. But yes, Bangladesh's population is very high, even Indian population is very high. But one thing I can share because of my experience, because I was in first world, even my family lived there, then I have some experience and I live in Malaysia, I compare. So fact is that Malaysian people is very disciplined. It's not only about government, it's all about the discipline and other things. I think that when Malaysian government give policy, law, regulation that you cannot go outside, they do not go outside. When they said you have to follow the rules and regulation, they follow. They said you have to wear mask. I do not want to say 100%. Few of the percentage maybe they do not follow and they have to pay their penalty. But most of the people, I think, I don't know, it's my observation, the Chinese-based people, culturally, they are very disciplined. It's my observation because I am also from Indian subcontinent. Okay, even we know different culture of Europe and America. But if you observe the deeper understanding of the Chinese culture, let's say Malaysia actually combination of China culture and other things. Even I am academician, I'm engaged with the classroom, so I know that let's say Chinese people always they are early riser, they are very disciplined, they are very concerned about healthcare, their food, and they are very hardworking. So I think this is one of the things it's my understanding. Even the electronic media, even Donald Trump and first world, they are blaming the Chinese community, this that, but my observation, those countries are very disciplined in terms of their regular lifestyle and everything, and they are obedient for law, rules, and regulations. Let's say I never see in Malaysia that what I understand that USA people, they do not like wearing mask. Many people, not everyone. But in Malaysia, I do not find that kind of things or culture. I think this is one of the major things. And beside that, yes, healthcare also important. Someone say luck also important. But this is alarming for country like India, Bangladesh, Indonesia, that they are Malaysia closing all of the borders and everything. And Malaysia actually business hub. For them, it's a very good business hub. So I think we have to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
want to come
Sharif,
back and
very
ask
yeah.
Dr. Saggu something really quick and everything, because one, we're getting ready to enter here in the United States, I guess all over the world, into flu season, and I think that that might be adding into people's concerns about COVID, because there might be trying to get treatment for both COVID and also having the normal flu added into the mix, because we are about to enter into flu season. But you mentioned earlier about stigmatization and how having colon in your part of the world is being stigmatized, and folks are like not wanting to admit that they've got the disease or talk about having the disease. We're not necessarily seeing that here yet. At least I'm not seeing that as much. So I just wondered if you could elaborate a little bit more on that, because I know there are other diseases that are like that. A lot of folks don't want to have their colons examined because of things in our African American and Latin American countries. And I talked to Dr. Fola May about that. So it does exist with certain diseases, but I don't think it's happening with COVID yet. So I just wanted to hear a little bit more of your talk on that and how that's happening over there.
Yeah, yes, Mark, because I have experienced this being stigmatized for the COVID-19. Actually, when the patient is got tested for the COVID-19 positive, so the society also behave like this. Even my all of vendors, they stopped coming for 1 month to my society. So initially they were looking at me as a physician. They were coming for the help. But when I got positive, when I tested positive, so everybody was coming that this home should be isolated. No one should be going. I mean, if passing through the street, this will not spread the COVID-19. And if you isolate whole of the street, that is not good. Home isolation is good, but if you are not even talking on phone also, that is a stigma. And I'm a healthcare worker. I have all facility at my home. But what about the common people? They don't have health facility at home. So they were looking up to the government, but the government was not helping them regarding their health. They were not helping them. So when everybody is cutting them from the society, how will they will be survived? If the patient, if the mild symptom patient goes to the hospital, then I mean he is going to have other infection also in the hospital. So with the mild symptoms, you are not advised to go to the hospital. You have to stay at home. And if you can get the facility, if you can get the help from the society, I think you can recover well. But if you are stigmatized for the COVID-19, then the government will come, they will seal your house, and nobody would be coming to you, nobody is going to serve you. The vegetables also, even all the vendors, they stopped coming to the houses. So that is not good. We should be making some groups, some NGOs, so that they can help each other. So
Yeah.
that is good for us. If even they can ask them to follow the guidelines also. So if this type of the environment we can make for this COVID-19, I don't think there is any problem if you will get the infection and the infection will pass away. Infection will pass away because the COVID-19, it would not be that much detrimental to you if you have a good immunity and everything is good, and if you're getting the good vibes. If you are stigmatized and you are getting stressed also because
Right.
of that, and while you are stressed, your immunity is also goes down, and your immunity is down, and the recovery is very very difficult. So that is why you have to be very cheerful in those times. When you are positive, you should be getting the help from everybody. You should be getting the good food, you should be getting the good air, everything should be good. Only then you can recover. So that is why I want this stigma to be removed from the society if you want really fight against the COVID-19. And
Yep.
on the answer to Sharif, I would like to say that India has stopped their air borders, flights, I think in March, and after that, no flight is coming to India. Even then, we are multiplying the virus. The reason is this virus cannot survive itself. If you keep this virus in the street, it will die after 6 to 7 hours. But this virus needs a human cell. So when we are going there and we are presenting ourselves as a source of life or source of multiplication to the virus, then the virus definitely will come. and will get into your cell, and then it will multiply. So the reason for the multiplication or the replication of the virus is ourselves. We are getting infected. We are giving opportunity to this virus not to die but to survive. So that is the only reason.
Yes.
I,
Well, we're
I
at the
just
top of the hour, and I just want to do brief introductions for those who are listening to IBM TV. This is Medical Friday, and we're discussing a very important topic, COVID-19. With us, we have the head of the Health Channel, Ankit Kandlawa from New Delhi, India, and then also Bill Trezevant from Washington, D.C., the Tower of Power, and he also does the Washington Reports for IBM TV and American Politics for people who are interested around the world. For those who are not interested in, real simple, just turn it off. But if you're interested, American politics with Bill Trezevant. We have Sharif, who runs the Sharif School of Economics out of Malaysia, and he has joined us. He's a PhD scholar. Dr. Saggu, who's a doctor in India, has also joined us. Namaste. Jim Eade with the Eade Foundation in San Francisco, California, has joined us. Mark Lee, who runs the Mark Lee Online Dinner Party on IBM TV, has also joined us. Dr. Tula, we're going to get right to you next from India. Good to have you here on IBMT's Medical Friday. And Rakesh, our scientists. Scientists are generally not allowed on television, but we've allowed Rakesh from Hong Kong to actually show up. As you well know, scientists in the United States have been banned because they produce facts and things like that we're really not interested. As we know, the Young and the Restless is on, or Love Island is coming on tonight, and so listening to medical stuff is. Dr. Toole, what is the problem we're having in India right now? We've seen a big spike up in COVID-19. What's going on there?
So the situation is that, see, we've been reading the media reports. So there has been a absolute jump in the numbers. I mean, privy to that must be also the fact that since the reporting or the results of the tests are also delayed, so it can be due to the aggregation of that also. But then, honestly speaking, it is not giving a great picture at the moment. So I think we should be absolutely cautious and take all precautions, because we need to understand that the government is opening up the economy. So the economy is being opened up, and I mean, this is the right time to be absolutely tight with the precautions, because if we do or do little or are complacent, we will end up in a very, very bad scenario. I am not spooking people out, but I don't want us to become an Italy or a Spain. What happened there, I think that is testament to what we should have learned, and we don't want to replicate that in India. And I would like to tell you one thing, which a lot of people are telling, that India, the immunity is good and all that. I can tell you and vouch for it that if things start going wrong, these whole theories will be put in a trash can. So I really believe that we should not get carried away by these stories that we are, I mean, immunity-wise better off than other countries. It is good that we are better off than other countries, but we can't, rest our shoulders on past laurels and just go around our business as normal. We need to be absolutely, absolutely careful what we are doing and responsible citizens.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the thing is,
Very true.
this thing has become a very serious problem. Now, what about the media portrayal of COVID-19? Like tonight on television, we have The Young and the Restless, we have Love Island, we have Days of Our Lives. Is there any reporting by your media on COVID-19 in India? Do they talk about that at all, Dr. Tula?
So I'll tell you very interestingly what has happened. See, we need to understand that I would refrain to comment on politicians, but unfortunately, see, we need to understand